915 Insiders down here at Riverside High School. Coach Gary Recoder, thanks for having us down to the high school. Appreciate
We
it.
really appreciate you guys coming down. Awesome.
Hey, first time being here. First thing I want to say, you might be in the lead for the best locker room in the 915. Hey, I've only been to probably about a handful, maybe 5, about 10. I think this is the best so far. So people got a pretty high bar to clear when it comes to that. But this is beautiful. So I thank you for having us and thank you for making time, Coach.
I appreciate the compliment. The reason it looks like this is because we feel that our kids deserve the best. Doesn't matter if they're an East Side kid, West Side kid, Lower Valley, or Northeast kid. We feel at Riverside High School, our kids deserve the best. So that's why it looks like this. Hey. Our kids bust their tail fundraising. That's for sure.
I tell you, I love it. It brings up so many things to talk about. But first, I want to take some time to talk about you, Coach. Tell me about your journey from playing high school football right here at Riverside High School, how you got involved in coaching, and everything that brought you to us right here.
Sure. I'm born and raised in El Paso, and I came to Riverside High School. I'm a proud graduate of the class of 2000. And when you play for a man by the name of Coach Work, who was able to inspire you, not motivate you, because motivating is very temporary, but he inspired me to want to be a coach. And this was something I knew coming out of high school. This is something I knew I wanted to do. There was small opportunities to go play college ball here and there, but at the time when I was graduating, Riverside Middle School, or actually East Independent School District, had a program. It's called the Co-op program, and you can teach or you can coach middle school sports and get paid for it as long as you were a full-time college student. So I was able to take full advantage of that. So coming out of high school, I was able to be the head football coach at Riverside Middle School right out of the gate for Coach Work in his program. So what a better person or candidate to do it than somebody that just played for you. And fast forward X amount of years later, our middle school coaches now are kids that just recently played for us. So they're preaching top to bottom. So that's what I was able to do. And that's what got me into coaching. So I was able to coach at Riverside Middle School. And then the coaching career it was a passion. It was a calling. It was just something that I wanted to do. And here I am, fast forward 24 years later, and I'm still doing it.
I tell you what, that's great. I don't know what happened to that program, but that's a program they might want to take advantage of again. Because I tell you what, that head start that you get while, you're learning to teach, you're also learning to coach. Hey, you got a program here where you're in a feeder program that you used to play in. That's wonderful. And how you parlayed it into that. And this beautiful thing. And as we're standing right underneath this, tell me about the Be a Man campaign program, indoctrination, however you look at it, your culture, whatever you identify it is. Hey, tell me about it, because I tell you what, I'm a fan of that right there.
So, again, taking me back to my playing days when I played here, Coach Work, the era of Coach Work, you knew it was whatever it takes and come get some. And going through my college career, in my studies and life and all that, it was whatever it takes, come get some, whatever it takes. And these were my teachings that I had when I was in high school. Well, when we got the job in 2019 and we got here, we wanted to be able to give our Riverside kids that kind of mentality, something that was going to brand them for when they were gone. When they were gone and they've graduated and they can reflect back on their time when they played for Riverside. Well, Be a Man came into play. And then Lock the Gates came into play. So we wanted to be able to give our kids an opportunity to have something when they leave. So, I have kids that graduated, and it's Be a Man. It's man rules. It's do what you say you're going to do. Be a young man of integrity and high character. Go be a good member of society. Go be a good student. Go be a champion for life, and be a good husband and a good father. And that's what Be a Man is all about. It's when you're here at Riverside, what kind of person are you going to be? We're going to be champions on the field no matter what. But we're going to be champions in the classroom, and we're going to be leaders in the classroom, and we're going to sit at the front of the class and that kind of stuff. So, and we're going to have a lock the gates mentality. We're here to win every time, and the gates are locked behind us. Either we're going to win or we're going to die trying. So that's exactly how Be a Man and even Lock the Gates came into play.
I say a couple things. That's what football's for. Football teaches you to be a man. That's the first thing. Second thing is, it's okay to say you're going to be a man. That's all. Hey, I'll leave it at that. It's still okay.
Bam.
Be a man. Hey, and I appreciate that. So I'm going to I usually put this question later, so I'm going to tie it in now. We know the stats, guys. We know about speed. We hear the guys who score touchdowns, we hear about them every day. Tell me about the leaders, the guys, maybe no stats. First guy in here, the guys that embody this. Tell me about them.
Oh, man. So from 2019 to now.
Start with the guys in the program now. I want to talk about those guys that, so today, in football period, the guy who's telling somebody they're not going low enough on squad.
You're going to get me in trouble because I'm going to end up missing somebody's name. I know it.
Hey, but it'll make them work harder, Coach.
I'll tell you what, man. We got amazing kids in our program right now that just carry the tradition. Our tradition doesn't graduate. So expectation going in is we expect whatever the district looks like, how it looks now, is our kids expect to win a district title. But that starts in off season. That starts in December all the way leading up to July. So kids that ring a bell right now, at this school, so we're a small school, right? So the majority of our kids, 95% of this locker room plays another sport, and we encourage that they play another sport because the best off season is an in-season sport. I'm gonna say that louder for the people in the back. But we got guys like Toa Samoa. Miss Yoka is a big-time kid. Carlos Rojas, who's hard to believe that the kid is a freshman and he's going to be a sophomore. He will be the most dynamic kid to come out of El Paso by the time he's a senior, and you can mark my words on that. We got amazing leaders like this kid right here, Izzy Rodriguez, who's our only offensive lineman returning, who's a big-time kid in what we do. Ricky's real.
So this is his chain.
That's passed down. That's definitely passed down.
Hey.
We got a great tradition of offensive linemen for sure. We got kids like Zoe. Oh my goodness, man! I'm telling you. A kid he's gonna probably be the best linebacker in town by the name of Danny Varela, who works so hard. He fought back from an injury, season-ending injury last year. He's fought back so hard, and just bust his tail in the off season in the weight room. I tell you what, we can go from locker to locker. These kids just really, really work hard. They put in the work. They're not afraid to just put their head down, look forward, and let's just work. Very blue collar kids, and we're very blessed to coach kids like that who believe in their coaches, believe in their program, believe in the systems. They believe in everything we're doing off season wise, and they will run through a brick wall for this school, this community, and our program.
I'll tell you what, and if you've got you, blame it on his head, not his heart.
Sorry if I didn't.
Hey, work harder. But right along into that, you wanted to hit on some of the historical guys. I've been in that Hall of Fame room. You're gonna have to get a bigger room or more walls because you're running out of space. So tell me, just hit on a couple names, big names. We try to talk about a few names. I've got one big name in mind. We're gonna talk about him later on the week, but talk about some of those guys that embody what it's like. You played football here. Later on in life, this happens. Those historical guys that every school has. Tell me about just one or two of those guys that embody what it's like to be a Riverside Ranger.
Man, I don't know if that's fair to put it, man. I mean, you go old school with guys like Mike Herrera, Tony Moreno, and Will Buffington, and you just keep moving it forward and you go back to guys that just really brought the juice, man. Tommy Galindo and those guys. I mean, those guys are special guys. As a matter of fact, those guys influenced me to want to come here. They really, really did. I was an elementary kid at Thomas Manor, and I'd watch those guys, and I wanted to be here. And then fast forward, there's just so many that you can name. I wish that's a whole nother 2 or 3 more interviews.
Okay,
and then you got guys like that just recently played for us, and Angel Munoz, Adrian Estrada, and Jose Guardao, and Sebastian Ortiz, and oh my God, there's just so many of them that really brought it, man. And guys that just graduated, it wouldn't be fair to those guys like Devin Quintana and Derek Vasquez and Noah Ramirez and those guys. I mean, those guys are special kids that just led from the front and were very unselfish.
Just judging by the recent names, definitely got to get a bigger room back there because they're out of space already. So we'll talk about some current issues here in local football. It didn't have a lot of effect down at the 4A. In the past, there have been similar things happen in 4A with UIL realignments, but just kind of talk from an outsider's perspective that, the UIL realignments and just from an outside looking in, because I've talked to coaches on both sides of it, but I haven't really talked to anyone who's like on the outside, no interest in it. This is how I see it. So if you'd like to talk a little bit about that, how did it look to you on the outside and, how it's going to look going forward in El Paso?
Sure. So both, we've been a part of two realignments since we've been here. The first realignment, going from 5A to 4A, was huge for our school because when you have 4A type numbers, you should be competing in 4A. That's just the way it is. Fast forward 2 years later, now we're in a gauntlet, a 4A gauntlet in El Paso with 9 teams now, and you have a rival right down the road with the school that wears maroon. Those guys are joining our district now, and our district is very competitive, it's very loaded. I mean, you got guys like Isleta, us, Austin, who does very good stuff, Clint, who does phenomenal stuff, and you can't forget about guys like Mountain View and that kind of stuff. So our district is very, very competitive for sure.
I tell you, on the outside looking in, when I look at 4A, it's the grittiest teams. It's like, not to demean anything, it's like I look at it like the lunch pail crew.
Yeah.
Those are the schools I look at. Like, those are the guys that, like, hey, they're gonna line up and play football. And I seen that when my son was a freshman, watching that team play Austin. Those guys are gonna bring it. And it's like those 4A schools are like, we don't care. Hey, we come to play too. And I appreciate that about those. So I appreciate it when you talk about the competitiveness
Absolutely.
of it. All right, tell me about the Texas 20, Coach. What does it mean to you? What does it mean to this school? And how are we doing with it going forward?
So playing in that game is, as on a personal level, I mean, playing Riverside, Isleta, is definitely going to be a battle. It doesn't matter how good they are, or how good we are, or how high ranked they are, or us. It doesn't matter. It's going to be a hard game. It's going to be a tough physical game. That game is just so much emotion involved. It's rivalry week. It's rivalry week. They don't like us. We don't like them. Our kids know them. They know our kids, and it's Tom work, come get some type of game. That's what it is.
Tell you what, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a healthy rivalry. That's great. So now, tell me about. I'll let you get your time to pitch your program. So tell me what it's like. We're coming up. We're about to have spring football. Right after that, it's going to be end of school, summer workouts start. You're going to have somebody who's going to come from right across the street over there at the middle school. What should they expect from their first day as a freshman or upcoming freshman on that first day of workouts to their last day as a senior? Just talk about, again, your program and what they can expect coming in.
Sure. For incoming freshmen to come to Riverside and come play at Riverside, expect to be loved, expect to be coached hard, expect to learn a lot of football, expect to learn life lessons. So if you're a kid coming into our program, expect a lot of that stuff. And expectations are very high. We expect district championships around here, bi-district championships, area championships. So expect to have a lot of fun. Expect to have the best of the best stuff. We believe in showering our kids with multiple uniforms, 3 helmets. We believe in a lot of that stuff. So kids coming over, and the thing about it is, we're over there so much that our kids know that. Our kids they know what to expect once they get here. And to the parents, your kids are in great hands. Your kids are in very great hands. They're not, we got a great coaching staff here at Riverside, and coaches that coach here, they love working with kids, and they have a passion for the game, and they have a passion for working with young people. So to those parents and those kids coming over, you're going to be loved for sure.
Outstanding. So we talk about that. You got some talent coming over from the middle school. I tell you what, it's amazing with the YISD school system where they just have the one feeder school, but it seems like every single one of those schools, hey, they just reload every year. So Tell me about the upcoming 2024 season. What do you expect? Not just from those guys that are coming over from the middle school, but what do you expect from this team as you go forward in 2024? And like you said, expectations are high. So tell me about it.
Well, like I said earlier, tradition never graduates, and the tradition around here is gold footballs. We expect to get gold football. So our kids work in the off season, in the summer. They put in the work with the expectation of a gold football. And what we do expect from our campaign, our 2024 campaign, is these kids that put in the work. They, whatever the way our district looks now is the way our kids feel is District 1-4A, the district title comes through our doors. It comes through our locker room. It comes through our hallway. And that's just the way we feel. And it's not a shot at anybody or nothing like that. That's just the way our kids feel.
Coach, you're supposed to feel that way. If you don't feel that way, the wrong man for the job and they're the wrong players for the field. So we should have those expectations.
Absolutely.
Coach, so we've done all the things leading up to it, all the things to get players ready. We've taught them to be a man, and it's game day. What are we doing for game day? What's your game day ritual if you have it, or what does game day look like for you?
For me, it's really simple. I'm a big family man. I'm a father of 4, and I kiss my babies goodbye for the day in the morning, and I kiss my wife. We'll see you later, that kind of deal. And my wife is awesome. My wife is a true coach's wife, man. She gets it. She's the champion of our household, by the way. And but it's one of those things where she knows it's Friday. She'll kind of let me be. I'm kind of very to myself on Friday. I'm very routine oriented, so I go making sure if it's a home game, making sure everything is good and we're good to go. I cut it off. I shut it down by like 2:30, and everything's already taken care of. And we have a McDonald's right here in Carolina, right around the corner. So my pregame meal is McDonald's, man. I'll go get some chicken nuggets or something, and that's it. And just shut it down and lock myself in my office and hear some music and go from there. I'm a big Journey fan, so probably Journey's playing in my office and just kind of.
And there's nothing wrong with classic rock, right? Nothing wrong with classic rock.
The youth need to know that, actually.
Hey. Well, I won't tell other teams inside. Other teams are using classic rock too. Don't worry, Coach. It's still out there, Now, hey, we get a big win. I don't ask people what they do after losses because we don't celebrate losses. After you get that big win, Coach, what are you doing afterwards?
What we do for our kids, what we do right out of the gate is there's a table that sits right there and it's full of Whataburger. We feed our kids Whataburger after every game. After the game, they'll come in, they'll get their stuff. There's a routine that we have going on. And after the game, man, I'm probably stopping at Whataburger and just kind of going about my business and go home because we got to come back and do it again tomorrow. We got to do it the next day. Got to do it again tomorrow. So it's very simple, very basic. We I'll let the kids celebrate it. I'll let the kids celebrate the victory, but the head coach in me is already thinking about the next opponent already. So I got to come in on Saturday and that kind of deal. So
one tradition that we left out that I talked to you about earlier that I would be remiss if I didn't bring up. You guys can't see it, but directly behind the camera, there's a barber's chair. So I want you to talk to me about, Coach, tell me about that Thursday meal and tell me what happens on Thursdays for the team, because I thought that was wonderful.
So I'm definitely going to give credit where credit is due. He's actually my barber. He played for us a couple years ago. Dylan Murga one time came into the locker room and was like, Coach, we need a barber chair. We need a barber chair. And at Riverside, we have a cosmetology program. So Dylan at the time was part of the cosmetology program. He's about to get his barber license. So on Thursdays, we have team dinner. That is a huge tradition here. We have team dinner. While team dinner is going on, we have kids getting faded up. Once they're getting faded up. So it's a party, man. We got kids getting faded up, team dinner, and then we have lower level games happening. So the community's surrounded, and that's all it is. It's just one big family having a great time. You come and get a haircut. I don't know. I don't think they charge. I don't care. But they're having haircuts, food, music's going on, a game's going on. It's just a great environment.
I tell you what, Coach, you got to have us out for one of those Thursdays so we can be out here, see what it's like, get immersed in that culture, because I think that's a great idea. And the second part of that is Dylan. We actually have proof. I can see Coach's haircut is tight. You got him right for the interview.
Dylan's my guy.
Hey, Dylan is just an innovator. You actually can cut hair good as well. So, hey, appreciate it, Dylan. You started a great
Go see Dylan at Ace of Faith, man. There you go.
Plugs,
Look at that.
doing.
What a plug.
Hey, I might stop by myself. I need to get my hair cut as well. Hey, Coach, great traditions here. I'll let you close it out. If you want to tell me about any final points, if I am not in that middle school across the street, why should I bring my son here to play? Because it's open enrollment.
You know what? I would not be doing my job right if I didn't bring up our amazing administration, Mr. Lada, our principal, Mr. Estrada, our assistant principal in charge of athletics. I'll tell you what, Riverside is about community, and that's the only way it works. Being able to go on playoff runs and that kind of stuff, and we're able to go and see what the playoff runs look like, and the teams that really have it together are the teams that have family around. The teams that have mom, dad, loading up the trailer, run through tunnel, team dinner, this and that. So I just talked about team dinner, but you should see our amazing parents. Our parents' support here at this school is phenomenal. It's very top notch, but they believe in what we're doing. They believe that their kids are in good hand. So we definitely have that. Now, that kind of goes back to me, and I have to say it. My dad was a booster club president when I was here, and Coach Work had family around and that kind of stuff. So I saw and I learned. I mean, you learn from somebody like Coach Work, and I would not be doing my job if I didn't bring up the coaches that I played for. You know, you got the best of both worlds, man. You get to play for coaches like Coach Work, and you get to play for coaches like Coach Valise, who are here, and Scott Valise, and Coach Work was just a great guy who saw a vision and who had a vision and brought amazing coaches, and Jeff Grimes and Lou James, God may he rest in peace. He was here before. He set a great foundation, and just amazing coaches that just were here. And that's the kind of pressure, though, that you're, when as the head coach, you got to be able to live up to these coaches that used to be here, man. I mean, that's so big time, so big time.
I tell you what, Coach, I think you're doing a good job. I tell y'all this, Coach didn't mention this. Picture's definitely up on the Wall of Fame.
Good play.
Hey, it's on the Wall of Fame. So when he talked about those great people who played earlier, he should have mentioned himself. He didn't, so I will. Coach, I appreciate you having us out here.
Guys,
great interview. Thank you again for your time.
Thank you guys for everything you guys are doing for our high school sports. Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate that.
Boom.